Cicely Tyson had passed away, I remember watching her history and seeing all the things that she's done, the people she's touched, all of that. And I remember the same thing when Maya Angelou died. And it was crazy to see their story and where they ended up in the future, and then what they've done, what they've accomplished, and what handprints that they made. Because like everybody could talk. Listen, I'm Canadian, and I know Maya Angelou. Like they definitely left a staple. So I do believe that, you know, whether our staples are big and loud like those two women, or small and quiet like me and my little podcast, you know, I think that we're here for a reason. And that's my belief about human and life, and we're here to, I think we're also here to just kind of enjoy it, enjoy and be great. What's the word? I guess have some form of gratitude, because, you know, there are people who unfortunately have less than you. So, you know, be gracious, enjoy it like it's you're taking a ride on the highway. You know, life is a highway.
Mm-hmm.
Life is a highway.
I was about to say, I'm gonna throw that behind here. You know, they don't hit me with that copyright, so I gotta be careful.
Yeah. Right.
So,
the joy of children laughing around you. These are the makings of you. It is true, the makings of you.
what's up, good people? It is your host, Mr. D713, with Everythang Culture, better known as Drake as well. And we're here with y'all back with another Makings of You. And this morning, this afternoon, this evening, tonight, we have Michelle with A Shot of Melanin. Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm pretty superb. I can't complain. I am blessed. You know, happy.
Blessed and highly favored.
Absolutely. We're going to church in a minute. You know, we go to evening service now, so it's cool. It's cool. I just have to keep up. But thank you for joining us this time for this session. We really appreciate it.
No problem. I mean, it's only fair. I mean, you guys were on my episode, so might as well introduce you to me.
Yes. So. And seriously, I appreciate that. I love the conversation. If y'all haven't checked it out, we had a discussion about cancel culture. It was with myself, it was Michelle, on once again, A Shot of Melanin. It was Shan as well as Greg. And both Shan and Greg with Laugh My Stereo. And, you know, the rest of their podcast is out there, but we ain't gonna go through all that right now. We're talking about Michelle, Mimi, you know, A Shot of Melanin, ASOM, I believe that's what we call it. So,
ASOM.
You know, so you listen to the Makings of You, so you know a little bit about it. Okay. Once again, I want you to understand this is your show.
Right.
Hey, how we do, we rocking with you. I'm going to ask you a series of questions to get to know you a little bit more. You can say yes, no, I don't know. You can answer them thoroughly. You can just be as brief as you want to be. But once again, we really appreciate your responses for this. So we're going to get into the first question.
All right, let's go.
So Michelle, how would you define yourself?
I am energetic. I am charismatic. I'm very friendly. I define myself as somebody who's always looking for conversations, to talk, get to know things, understand. So I'm a little bit of a curious person. I'm cautious as well. But I think ultimately, overall, if people were to say who's Michelle, like what's one word to describe Michelle, they would say fun.
Okay, love it. So what cultures do you represent?
So I represent, well, I'm Canadian, born and raised, but both of my parents are from the island of Jamaica. So that would make me first generation Canadian, coming from two Jamaican parents. So I identify as both Canadian and Jamaican, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of gravitate more to the Jamaican side. But I identify with both.
All right. Okay. So you kind of say, where exactly are you from? Where do you represent?
So I'm born originally in Montreal. So in the province of Quebec. So you see how the United States have states. Well, in Canada, we have provinces. And so I'm from the province of Quebec, which is primarily French. So oui, je parle français. Je suis bilingue. So yes, I speak French. I'm bilingual. I also speak patois because of my parents. So
okay.
So in Quebec, you have to learn French. It's not even a question. It's something that you have to learn French. And I found love in Montreal. Love was what brought me here to the city of Toronto. I had met my now fiance at a club. Yes, you can find love in a club. Right. And he was originally from Toronto, me being from Montreal. We just kind of dated long distance. And so now I am stationed in Toronto.
All right.
Which is Ontario, the province of Ontario. Yes, before I forget that.
Okay. I'm getting it. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So, no one's seeing me from the South. Would you like to share your age with us?
I am the golden age of 33. As of this episode, I am 33.
Love it. Patrick Ewing in here. That's the year. Okay. What's your sign?
I am a Virgo.
Virgo's at September.
September. August, September, but I'm September, born in September. All right. So very analytical. We overthink a lot. Can be very critical. So I have my moments.
But y'all, well, the ones I know kind of quiet, and you seem kind of quiet at the top. But once you get going, you get comfortable.
Exactly.
Rolling.
Exactly.
Okay. How would you define your childhood and your upbringing?
Okay. Looking back at it as an adult and as a mother, I would say that I had a good childhood. But if you're talking to Michelle at that age, she'd probably say that she hated her childhood. And I say that because of the way I was raised. And so my parents are coming from the island of Jamaica, where there's not much opportunities, and now they have children, and so they want them to strive for perfection. And so a lot of it was heavily focused on academics and making sure that I was performing well in that category. So I mean, like, while kids were going to summer camp, I was going to summer school. So as a kid, I'm sure that's not fun. Like, you just finished school and you're going to summer school. So I would say that my upbringing was more so, making sure that we had good grades. Also, we had to, of course, respect our elders. And if, you were out of line, we got popped. And I don't mean popped like in the face. Okay. Let me reword that. You got beaten, and my parents are from the islands, and sometimes the beatings with a hand. Nowadays, CPS would say that's abuse or something to that regards, but that's how our parents raised me. So if I disrespect, I got a pop on the butt, whether it was with a hand, a belt, however that may be. And it's funny because as an adult now, me and my cousins will always joke about, remember how we got our backside whooped? We joke about it now as an adult, but of course, as a child, you never saw that as fun, So looking as an adult now, I would say I had a good upbringing. Could my parents have done better? For sure. But, as a parent myself, you do the best you can with the tools that you know and the knowledge that you have. I'm sure if they knew there was other ways to discipline a child, they would have tried that route. Beatings has been something that you do in Jamaica. Like, my mom's told me stories of when she went to school, if you misbehave or if you didn't even answer the answer correctly, you got a beating. So, I'm not mad now. Of course, as a child I was, but that was more so my upbringing was. We had some, there was definitely a great highlight moment, but as a child, I'll always get mad at the beatings I got. Yeah. So, that's pretty much it, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So you already jumping ahead. You got one of our questions out the way, and we appreciate it. Oh, you're
Okay.
fine. You doing the thing. Okay. See, that let y'all know y'all listen. She ain't nervous, y'all, but I ain't gonna get on nobody. So what were the roles of your caregivers coming up?
So the roles, I would say they're the typical traditional roles. My mom was the caretaker. She was the one that I think both me and my sister felt very comfortable going to because she was very loving, very affectionate. And my dad was more rigid, stern, almost kind of like military. Mm-hmm. But he was the provider. So he went out, made the bacon, came home, and paid the bills, paid the mortgage, and all that sort of stuff. So I would say he was more the provider, and my mom was more the nurturer. So there was really like the typical traditional roles.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I do. I have a younger sister.
Okay. Okay. How much younger, if you mind sharing?
5. We're 5 years apart.
All right. Never. Okay. So y'all never went to school together. So cool.
Yeah.
And going to school, how do you feel so far about your education in life?
Jeez. You know, as an adult now, I really want to say, and I'm probably going to get some flack for this, but I want to say that I'm kind of a little disappointed about my education. And here's what I mean. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, when my parents came to Canada, their mindset was, we really need to make our kids be strong academically. They need to get a degree so that if they get a good degree, they'll get a good job. And so we did that. And my first job straight out of university was at a call center. So I'm mad. I'm happy that I have the knowledge that I have because I do think that knowledge is key. So I'm glad that I had the knowledge to know certain things. Like there's definitely some things that I'm still kind of questioning, like really Pythagorean theorem, what the hell am I going to do with that? But ultimately, I am happy with the education of me learning and having a better understanding of the world, of people, of systems. I'm mad because I was promised a good paying job based off of this degree. So I'm conflicted is the word.
Hey, this is your thing.
I think the word is conflicted.
Okay, we can roll with conflicted.
Okay, we'll roll with conflicted.
Hey, this the makings of Michelle. We can go whatever you feel like going.
All right. I'm conflicted.
Like this is not only the American dream, this is the North American
dream. Right.
So this sounds like okay. So when did you feel your first sense of responsibility?
Like a real great sense of responsibility. I would say when I had my daughter. That was like, yeah, because here's the thing. When I had finished university, I didn't have much time to myself. I finished university at 26. And within a couple of months, I ended up pregnant with my daughter. So I didn't even get the chance to let's go out and travel. Let me move out into my own place. I was living with my parents and then boom, now you have to be a parent yourself. Mm. So I think my greatest sense of responsibility was when I had my daughter, because now it's like I'm responsible for somebody else's life and their well-being. And I have to make sure, the basic needs are met. Love, food, shelter, and clothes. So I would say, yeah. And that continues on with my other child. But that was when I really felt my first sense of responsibility.
Okay. I love it. Thank you for sharing so much of that. What was your first job?
I had a job working at the tender age of 14. Okay. And luckily for me, my aunt had some connects with some physicians, and they were looking for, I want to say like a clerk. I wouldn't really say a receptionist, I guess, because I would replace the receptionist on lunch, but I did a lot of filing patients' documents.
Administration work.
Administration, yeah. So we get the documents, and if, certain documents you have to either put away or they had to be seen by the doctor so that they could call the patient. So that's pretty much what I was doing. And then on the secretary's breaks, then I would answer the phones, take appointments, whatever. So yeah, that was my first job. I think I did pretty good for a 14-year-old.
It sounds like you did an excellent job. Okay. So going to our next question. What were and what are your beliefs?
Beliefs in regards to what? Like
open-ended question.
Okay, open-ended question. All right. Beliefs. What are my beliefs? I used to hear this saying like, we're here for a reason or a purpose. And I'm not too sure really if we're here for a reason or a purpose, but I would like to believe that's something that we're here for. Like we're here for, we have some sort of quest that we need to take on, or journey that we needed to take on, and we have to maybe touch people's lives a certain way. And, at the end of it, then God calls you home, I guess. So that's, I don't know. I didn't speak to the divine, but I would like to think that we're here for a reason. So I believe that we're here for a reason. The only way I could explain it is when Cicely Tyson had passed away, I remember watching her history and seeing all the things that she's done, the people she's touched, all of that. And I remember the same thing when Maya Angelou died. And it was crazy to see their story and where they ended up in the future, and then what they've done, what they've accomplished, and what handprints that they made. Because everybody could talk. Listen, I'm Canadian, and I know Maya Angelou. They definitely left a staple. So I do believe that, whether our staples are big and loud like those two women, or small and quiet like me and my little podcast, I think that we're here for a reason. And that's my belief about human and life, and we're here to. I think we're also here to just kind of enjoy and be great. What's the word? I guess have some form of gratitude, because there are people who unfortunately have less than you. So be gracious, enjoy it like it's you're taking a ride on the highway. Life is a highway. Mm-hmm. Life is a highway.
I was about to say, I'm gonna put that behind here. They're gonna hit me with that copyright, so I gotta be careful.
Yeah. Right.
So, who has been the biggest influence in your life?
Oh, wow. I would definitely say it would have to be the women in my family, and I'm talking women from my mom to my my aunts, definitely my aunts and my cousins, my female cousins. They really, and the reason why is because they really show me the strength of being a woman, and how even though we've got two things against us, which is being a woman and being Black, how they can really persevere. I see my cousin killing it, and I'm just in awe, so, and my aunts too, I very much admire them. One of my aunts, her husband had passed away years ago, and to see her continue to take life by the horns and be so joyful, almost like there is still life after someone passes, and still to enjoy it. And then I've got another aunt who's just so friendly, so accepting, so helpful, and I don't know what more to say. And my mom, and it's really just the women in my family, because they really show me, what it is to be a woman and what it is to be a Black woman. And they make me see life in more of a positive rather than a negative, because I tend to be a little bit more on I harp on the negative. And I don't mean in the sense of I'm a negative Nancy, more oh my God, we're doomed. Kind of negativity. Whereas they're no, don't see it like that. Don't see it like that. See it as the glass is full rather than half empty. So, yeah.
I rock with it. I feel it. Okay. no need to panic over here. We're in good hands with it.
Panic. I'm always panicking.
So, if you could recommend a book, a movie, and a television series, what would you recommend?
A book?
Yes.
I'm looking at my book collection. I'm like, which book will I? A book, a movie, and a television series. Oh boy. That is a good question. And I know this, but I never think, I'm like, I'll figure it out. I watch so much shows, so much movies.
So for our listeners, the people who be listening out here.
I'm very much into, I know this sounds probably so wrong maybe for some people, but I'm very much into documentaries. And I know a lot of the documentaries are hard pills to swallow. Like I was watching, oh my God, what's his name? The Black Messiah.
Yes.
And it's not a documentary, it's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of Black people have a hard time sitting down and watching these things. Maybe because
that's what Huey P. Newton, if y'all don't know.
Yeah. Maybe because I was sheltered most of my childhood life into teenage years. I'm learning Black history as an adult.
Welcome to Everything Culture.
Yes. And I will have to give credits where credit's due too. I'm engaged to somebody who's very pro-Black. And so he explains a lot to me and he tells me a lot. And so I know a lot of people want to stay away from those type of movies because it is heavy. And I get it. I sit in it and it's heavy. I cry and it hurts. But it's something that I think because my parents wanted to shelter that away from me so much, I know that's something I need to learn. I know nothing about police brutality. And it's weird because I grew up in the whitest part of Montreal. Maybe because I'm a female. But so I would say movie, The Black Messiah. Documentary. I can't remember the name of the documentary. It's on Netflix. And I really, really enjoy. Oh man, I have to find the name of it. Basically, the storyline is about pretty much a scammer who managed to create a company and scam people billions of dollars off of crypto. And true story, it's a Canadian company. Crazy. I can't remember the name, but it's on Netflix. It just came out. And I think that kind of really stuck with me just because if you look at it's one of those situations where you were very much deceived by the way somebody looked. You thought he was nerdy and all of that. And anyways, I have to figure out the name of this. And I got
Trust No One, The Hunt.
Yes, that's it. Trust No One, The Hunt for the Crypto King. I highly suggest it, especially for people who are investing. Always do your research because people lost millions. I'm never seeing that money back again. And I think that's the season that I'm in right now and is investment. So I guess maybe that's why I really, anyways, that's a documentary you can watch. And in terms of books.
Something like that. So we got a movie, a docu-series, and now we're at a book. Okay.
A book, yeah.
Right.
A book. I have books here. And a lot of books, I haven't got to finish reading. I have so many books. I'm a collector of books.
Okay.
So right now, the book that I'm enjoying the most is Gabrielle Union's We're Gonna Need More Wine.
Okay.
I am enjoying that very much. And I get it. It's more so a story about her, but it really, I don't know, I guess it really explains who she was at the time before this book. I always got Mean Girl energy vibes from her. And reading this book, you kind of understand where she came from and why she may give off that vibe. Maybe she was Mean Girl. I don't know. I never met the woman. But I just enjoy how she explained her childhood, also being a stepmom. So this was before she had her daughter. And so the challenges that she faced as a stepmother. So yeah, those are the three that I got.
Thank you. Maybe I need to have Gabriella Union on too.
Man,
For her.
You should shoot your shot, Drake, because you never know. I
gotta try. You know,
shoot your shot. I took a chance in. I mean, he's not like grabbing Union bit, but I got a famous Canadian YouTuber to be on one of our episodes. So,
well, you know, I be dribbling all the time. I pull up on them. You know, that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start taking shots. But thank you.
No problem.
If you could call three people, any three people, you know, here, no longer here, fictional, actual reality you've met that you have a great relationship with, you name it. Who are the three people you'll make a phone call to and have a conversation with?
Okay, so the first one would be my grandmother. And the reason, and she's no longer with us. She passed away when I was like 4. But the reason is because I see the relationship that my children have with their grandmothers, and I didn't have that. So I'd love to have a conversation with her, maybe kiki, laugh a little bit, get to know her, know her story, ask if my mom was an ideal daughter. Was she a troublemaker? You know, and maybe even just really get some sort of connection to my mom's grandmother. So that's one. 2 would be just because everybody knows, like, I'm obsessed. I want to talk with Michelle Obama.
Okay.
I'm obsessed. It's a problem. I have her book. It's a problem. But
Michelle. Okay, go ahead.
You know, I didn't even think of that. But
another Michelle.
Another Michelle. Just because I just find that she holds such wisdom and knowledge, and I feel like I could have a conversation with her about parenting because, girl, I got questions. I need answers. And, you know, of course, I have other questions as well. And most of my questions have been answered through watching her movies or docuseries, but I just kind of want to pick her brain and really get to, you know Michelle and unhinged, away from the cameras, and just have like intellectual conversations with her.
Got it.
So my grandmother, my Michelle, and the third one would be I'm not too sure who the third one would be.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have a third one. I just think it's those two for now.
Hey, this is the makers of Michelle. If you have your granny and you have Michelle
Obama.
That's what
I should have a Canadian one. That's not right, Michelle. You should have a Canadian.
Hey, we can come back to it, and we come back. If you think of somebody,
okay,
we'll link that right back to it.
Sure.
What was an impactful moment in your life?
Gosh. Impactful in my life. I feel like I'm still living. I can't say I've had I'm just trying to think. I've had many things that have impacted, but was there anything like really that stood out? I don't think so. Yeah, I would say like multiple, like small little things that have impacted my life, but nothing that has stood out. Again, one of them being motherhood, that has really impacted me, and the way that I see life and maybe the way I move throughout my spaces. So motherhood is definitely one thing. Also being an adult. Oh, jeez. Y'all didn't tell me it's so expensive around here.
Somebody told me. Well,
that has definitely impacted me. Just, what is it like to have to constantly cook, clean, pay bills? But But I would say like small things have impacted me, but I embrace it because it makes me who I am.
Exactly.
So.
Okay, love it. If you had a theme song,
okay,
what would it be?
This is a song, la 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 la. Almost, no, I'm kidding. Oh God, a theme song.
That was low key a bop though. That's his song though. That's Elmo's song.
That's Elmo's song. Okay, no. But okay, so does my theme song have to be already made, or have to create one?
Either way, like,
okay.
Like when you wake up in the morning and you're putting on your glasses, brushing your teeth, you know, getting ready for the day, stepping out, what song plays? You know,
comes to my mind. Yeah.
If you had a sitcom, like,
yeah, my life would be a sitcom. Honest God, it'd be a sitcom. It would be, in terms of theme songs, it would be DeMarco's "I Love My Life," which is a reggae too.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say that would, because I mean I do love it. It's great. I'm enjoying this ride. Or it would be, I have the song in my head, but I'm like, where's that theme song from?
Come on, let's harmonize. Give me a little something.
I think it's Full House, the Full House theme song.
Yeah,
na, 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 na,
yeah, that's Full House. That's Full House.
That came to my mind. If it was
a Full House song and the Family Matter song kind of go. Okay, let me stop.
And you know what's funny? Family Matters did pop in my head, but why did the Full House song come up? So I saw the people, but the song was different.
No, you ain't the only one with that. I fell into that too. Okay. How do you, or how would you define joy?
Oh gosh, I am probably the worst person to define joy, because every day joy is different for me. One day joy is me eating a cannoli and I'm like, oh my God, this is heaven. This is joy. And then the next day I'm like some philosophical explanation and probably like looking into Plato and all those like Greek theories about like life. And so every day is different for me. If I could just sum up joy, obviously joy is what is, everybody defines joy differently. Mm-hmm. I would just say it is the moments that you share with people that are the most memorable in terms of joy. So spending time with people or spending time by yourself, but you know, joy is almost kind of being centered and at peace with yourself and at peace with the world around you. And just more so maybe like taking care of yourself and finding things that make you feel good. So whether that's humor, whether that's a workout, but I think joy is definitely defined differently for everybody. What's joyful for me might not be joyful for another. Like, I don't know anybody who wouldn't want a cannoli. That's just weird. But joy for me right now is a cannoli.
Yeah, okay.
So put it there.
Okay, we're gonna roll with that. That's gonna be the hashtag. Joy is cannoli. Cannoli. All right. So, what privileges do you benefit from?
Oh, I have female privileges. I mean, I ain't got white girl female privileges, but I got some female privileges. I'm still trying to figure out what those privileges are, but I know they're there. And I say that because growing up, a lot of my friends were white, and you could really see the privileges that they had being white. You know, getting out of speeding tickets. Let me tell you, I learned I don't have that privilege. I learned that when I got stopped for the first time from a cop, and I tried because a lot of my girls like, girl, just cry. You'll get yourself out of a ticket. These are white girls telling me this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, officer, I'm so sorry. Yo, let me tell you, you gave me that ticket. No.
Clean yourself up, man. Do better.
So I know I have privileges. I know I don't have that degree of privilege. So I'm still trying to figure out what that privilege I have is. I think younger me, I would say I had pretty girl privilege. Before I had kids, I looked good, man. I looked good. I had like a Coca-Cola body. And so I would say I had privileges in the sense of like whenever guys wanted to get with me, I could kind of like, I want whatever that may be, and I would get it. So I know I had some form of pretty girl privilege back then.
I appreciate you owning up to it. I appreciate y'all owning up to it.
Yeah, I kind of milked that.
No, that's one of the reasons why we asked this question here, but we appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay. When did you realize you were different?
Gosh, probably in grade 1 or grade 2? Immediately when I started school, I noticed I was there. For one, like I said, Montreal's a predominantly white area. You could literally count the Black people in your class, like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So automatically I knew, because I went from maybe being at home with my mom to being in a school, and that's when I automatically knew that I was different. For one, I didn't have the same hair textures as these other people. Didn't have the same skin color as these other people. And so at that moment I realized that I was different. And then of course, they're asking, where are your parents from? And at the time you don't think of these things, but like looking back on it, you're like, this could have been a microaggression. But you tell them Jamaica and they automatically, yeah man, I smoke the ganja. And you're like, okay. What? Exactly, what? Also, you get the typical, oh, you're pretty for a Black girl. So you knew you were different. They made it a point to remind you that you ain't like the rest of us. So I would say the moment I started elementary school is when I knew I was different. Wow.
Thank you for sharing. Greatly appreciate that. How do your family not only recognize but celebrate death? Like, what's the process when someone passes?
I can't even say it's celebrate, but we definitely grieve, and we grieve hard. I know in Jamaica, it's before. I don't think we do it here in Canada, but let's say someone passes in Jamaica, we would go back home. They get a goat and they pretty much kill it. I'm not going to go into details. Imagine it how you will, how they kill it, but you're there when they kill the goat. And essentially they have kind of like a party. I wouldn't say it's like you're throwing confettis and woo. It's more so like a party where you kind of remember the person who passed, and you might drink and maybe chuckle at the moments that you might have, and then you eat food, and you might say something about the person, like, I remember Dalton, and when he did this, and maybe a couple of embarrassing stories that Dalton probably wishes you never said, but hey, exactly. Pictures circulate of them with the deceased, and so yes, it is a somber moment, but it's not heavy like you're going to a funeral and everyone's like maybe bawling their eyes out. It is supposed to be a rather light-hearted party, but nothing like what, like it's not like a frat party. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. R.I.P. Dalton. We had good times. All right. Let's see. Who do you trust?
I trust definitely my fiance, because he has a really good sense of judgment, character. So I definitely trust him. Okay, if we're saying trust, like if this was like I was single, Mama, who do you trust to take me out? I don't trust her on that, because we don't have the same taste in men. So no. Okay. But for anything else, I trust her. She's my mom. She obviously knows what's best for me. Just not the dating department, because that's a no.
Okay.
I trust my sister. I trust my cousin as well, my closest cousin. And so, yeah.
Good to have people that
yes,
you trust in your life.
Yes.
That's beautiful. All right. If you can work any job, any occupation, but you were wealthy, money was not an issue.
What would it be?
But you have to have one job, one thing you had to do. What would it be?
I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because when I was younger, I always wanted to be a lawyer. And it's funny because those thoughts have kind of resurfaced lately. Like, should I go back to school and maybe become a lawyer? But on the other side, I enjoy conversations and I enjoy talking with people and learning. So I would say a TV show host.
We are podcasters. So.
Exactly. So I'm conflicted. One is the whole aspect of, you know, going into courts and winning case and that kind of thing. Always, I was good at debating. I don't have now, but I used to be a very good debater. And now I guess it's just more conversations and listening to people's stories and, you know, really sitting with it to learn from them and see how maybe, is there anything that is this teaching me and how I could apply this to me? So I would say journalism now. So a TV show host.
All right. Love it.
The next Oprah.
How about you just be the Michelle? How about that?
I'll be the Michelle. Hey man, the Michelle show would be great.
No, don't try to be somebody else. Be you.
Baby, that's true.
And that's why we're doing the makings of Michelle. You feel me? That's why we're here for. This ain't the makings of anybody else. It's the makings of you. All right?
That's right.
So, when was the last time you cried?
It's so funny because I remember hearing this question. I'm like, I got the answer now to tell you. I'm like, oh God, when was it? I do remember the feeling of what it was. It was a time that I was at church, and I think the Spirit just took me, and I just started crying. So it was a time that I was at church. I just don't know if it was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a while ago, a month ago, but it was definitely at church. I don't know. The Spirit just took me, and I started bawling. So.
Won't he do it? Okay.
Won't he will.
Thank you for sharing. Okay. You got 5 more questions. You are wow. You know, thank you so much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they and them. This is the makings of Michelle with Everything Culture. Y'all make sure to tune in. Y'all can listen to this anywhere you can hear a podcast, or you can watch this on YouTube. And make sure to check out A Shot of Melanin as well. But we're getting ready for our next question, and that is, Michelle, 2 options.
Okay.
Would you rather go back in time at the age you're at now, go back in time and talk to your younger self, or have your future self, let's say 30 years in the future, come and talk to you now? Which one would you prefer? You got to pick one of the 2.
I don't know. Oh, let's see. Okay. I feel like me going back to my younger self, I wouldn't listen to me. So I think I would want my future self to come to me, because I was a very stubborn, hard-headed kid. I feel like I'm going to hear a yell saying, somebody, you're still stubborn. But I was very stubborn. I did things my way. It was my way or the highway. So I feel like if I went back, current me going back to past me, trying to, you know, explain some things, that Michelle is not listening. So I'm more open to listening to people now. So I would say my future self to come to me now.
Okay. Love it. How do you relax?
I sleep a lot. When you have 2 younger kids, oh Lord, you know, and my kids are under 6 and 2. And, you know, the 2-year-old wakes up at night, or my 6-year-old has nightmare. I relax by sleeping. Maybe if I have some extra cash on me, maybe going to get my nails done, my hair did. Yeah, I'm that girl. Hair done, nails did, going to the spa. And just my favorite thing when I was in Montreal, they used to have a lot of spa centers, a lot of wellness, and it was more so like you're out with nature. And that used to be my thing. So you go out, you kind of zen in these big pools, and you're out and there's the trees and you hear the birds, and that would really, but here in Toronto, they don't have that. So yeah.
Okay. Love it. Get you some rest, get you a little bit of spa and nature. We appreciate that.
That's right.
All right. What's a quote that you live by?
Oh, gosh. One quote that particularly stands out to me was, I think it was a grade 9 teacher. And he'd always say, go big or go home. So that one definitely stands out to me. Go big or go home. So when people say I'm extra, I'm like, I'm going big, because one day God's going to call me home. So I'm going to go big.
I love it.
And if you can't handle it, then, the saying, different strokes for different folks. Just carry along. You don't have to stay here.
Do you?
Exactly. So I would say go big or go home. And I mean that in the sense of no matter what you're doing, go all out. Do it. Because for one, you never know when you're going to see that opportunity come again. Mm-hmm. Also, you don't want to live in the point of what ifs, right? So, shoot, I should have done it this way, or what if I did it, or da-da-da-da. Just do it. Go big. Just do it, Nike.
You throwing them out there. Okay.
Yeah.
See, my favorite question, your last meal, what would it be, and who would prepare it for you?
Boy, my last meal would have to be, oh my God, my mom's going to hate me for this. My last meal would have to be chicken and jollof rice from my fiance's mom, because she makes a wicked jollof rice. And I want anybody coming here. My that side of the family is Ghanaian. So as of right now, Ghanaians make the best jollof. I don't know about Nigerians, but Ghana makes the best jollof. And I would want jollof as my last meal, because that is so good.
I never had it.
It is so good. I
hear about it all the time, though.
If you could find an African restaurant and maybe compare the two, and then you could come back and tell me between Nigerian jollof and Ghana jollof, I'll hear a scream very soon that says Nigerian jollof isn't worth it. But
hey,
but
when I have to bring somebody Nigerian on the show so we can have that conversation.
And they're gonna argue. They're gonna listen. I'm not, and I'm telling you, I'm not Nigerian. I'm not Ghanaian, but I have a friend who's Nigerian, and my partner is Ghanaian. And it's always this when it comes to jollof. Always.
It's kind of like grits. It's like grits with sugar and butter and
yes, exactly like this. They're
gotcha.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be my last meal. It'd be, if not the chicken, just the jollof rice. That would be my last supper.
Okay, I gotta check it out now for sure. All right, what is your favorite holiday?
I don't want to copy Melissa. I'm like, that's not a holiday, so you can't say that. I was gonna say my birthday, but it's not a holiday.
Hey, that's my favorite.
Right? I think my favorite holiday would have to be New Year's.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why is because, you could use that time to reflect on the year that you had and create a vision for the year that you're going into. Vision boards. So, yeah.
Noted. I got to do an episode about vision board.
Oh, yes.
I haven't did one
created one.
Elementary school, so okay.
Yes. And you could do them now as adult. There's so much. And you don't even have to get like the typical like canvas paper.
No,
magazine.
Like I'm on social media. I be seeing like grown women doing whole vision board parties with their friends and all that. I'm like, I love that's cute.
Yes, right.
I'm happy they're having fun with one another. Guys, we're not doing that.
I know. I wish you guys would. Create the vision for yourself for whatever year that is.
Like a lot of guys I know, we don't plan a lot. We just do it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, we don't calculate. We just go ahead and jump. We don't think where we want to land. We just want to get out there. And I think that's why we need each other. But that's a discussion for another day. Okay. So we got 2 more questions.
All right.
1, how would you want people to remember you?
That's so funny because I had a conversation with my mom about that. Because we're talking about like, in the event that I pass, what do I want? And I said, I want people to remember me as somebody who had fun and was funny and laughed and really enjoyed life. I don't want people to remember me like in my sorrow, my pain, or my struggles. I never want that. I was a fun person. Like, remember me for the fun, kooky, corny, crazy, weird, wild person that I am. And just have fun. And that's how I want people to remember me.
Okay. Love it. It's unique that you brought up your mom. That's going to be your last question.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a two-parter. So, what are you doing different than your parents? And what changes are you trying to see in your culture?
What am I doing different? Oh, God, I'm doing a lot of things different. For one, definitely no traditional gender roles up here. Okay. So, both me and my fiance cook. Both me and my fiance work, pay bills. Both of us are sharing child duties. So that's definitely something gone. Also, the way we parent is different. It's so funny because sometimes you don't realize the way generational trauma just keeps going. And I just thought, my parents beat me, I'm going to beat my kids. It wasn't even like, let's think of other options. It just kind of kept going down. And I was like, well, we'll just continue it. If it wasn't for my partner saying, no, I'm not doing that. I got it. You got it. Do we want that for our kids? And I'm like, well, my parents did it. When you have that mindset of my parents did it, I came out fine. You came out fine. Why not? But I think he definitely challenged me to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
So I would say parenting is different. The way I think also maybe the way we see kind of money, whereas my mom kind of saw money as men only did that. They got the bread and butter. I don't see that. Like, I have career goals and aspirations. So I don't see it like, oh, you make the bacon and I'll just sit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something I would say that's different. Like, my mom to this day finds it weird when we talk about 50-50. She's like, 50-50? Like, yeah. In her times, those wonder years, it was always the man. So when I tell her, like, I'm taking him out for dinner, she's like,
blasphemy, like, blows my mind.
Yeah, she's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what was the other part of the question?
What changes you want to see in your culture?
I would love to see more acceptance in terms of people in the LGBTQ2+. I don't know if I said that all right because it's always a tongue twister for me.
LGBTQIA+.
Thank you.
I know it's like T2S. It's some additions, but I got it. I'm gonna throw that plus on because I don't want to.
Yeah, ruffle any feathers. People know that a lot of Jamaicans are homophobic. It's still very much a thing out there. And I would love for my people to just, love your neighbor as you love yourself kind of situation. So I would definitely love to see that change in the culture because I remember following a YouTuber and he's originally from Jamaica and he had to leave Jamaica. For one, of course, you have better opportunities in the US. 100% get that. But he also mentioned, the lack of acceptance for people who are of that. So, and I think he said he's gay. So I said, yeah, that's definitely something I would love.
All right. We love that. We appreciate this. Mimi, you have finished your gauntlet, as some people may say, of the makings of you with Everything Culture. Hey, we appreciate you. You know, we've learned so much about you. You know, you always hop in and have conversations with us when we're on Twitter, on Spaces, on Friday nights. And we look forward to having more conversations with you in the future as well and having you come back on the show. You are a Canadian representative right now. Just let you know that. So if the audience, if our listeners, if our viewers, if they're trying to find you on social media, where can people find you if you're trying to be found?
Yes, I am trying to be found. So you can follow me on Twitter, which is ASOM_podcast. You could also follow me on Instagram at A Shot of Melanin. We're also on Facebook. I do have a TikTok account. Am I consistent? No, as Jake is nodding his head, I'm not consistent. I don't find myself that creative. I try. On TikTok, you can find me at V_XOX. V is my middle name is Vanessa. And I'm like, I don't want to do Vanessa, so it's V. And I think that's it. I'm deleting some of my other ones. Like I had Snapchat. I was like, I only use it for the filters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel you. And she may forget, but make sure to check out A Shot of Melanin as well. You know, anywhere you can listen to a podcast, just type it in Google, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Y'all are not on YouTube, correct?
Not yet, but get ready for it. And I would definitely say that if anybody is looking to listen to us, we are looking at extending into YouTube. We don't have a date yet. We're not too sure if it's going to be for our next season because we're currently in season 3. So is it going to be for season 4 or season 5? So the best way to find out would be to follow me.
Tell them.
And then from there, we would put down all of we also, like me, Drake, and Shannon, Greg, we did an episode on cancel culture in which I do have the video. So it might get dropped into YouTube world. But again, you'd have to follow us and we will let you know for sure.
Hey, let us know where we can help. And always, you know, I'm Drake, Mr. D713 with Everythang Culture. You'll find us anywhere you listen to a podcast. You can find us on YouTube if you're trying to see us. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Spotify. We're on TikTok, Facebook. We're all over the place. But hey, you know, we really appreciate y'all's support. Oh, and don't forget to go to www.everythangculture.com. We're there as well. But I want to say thank you again, Michelle. Appreciate you so much. And hey, everyone, listen, season 4 is coming very, very soon. So y'all just hold tight. We'll be with y'all in a moment. But I want to say thank you all again. God bless and peace.
Bye.
What's happening, good people? It's your host, Drake, the Mr. D713 with Everythang Culture. Just letting you know, thank you. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Makings of You. We greatly appreciate your support. We look forward to more support in season 4. Make sure you check out www.everythangculture.com for our new merchandise, as well as check out all of our social media sites from Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and IG. We're all over. We greatly appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing y'all in the next episode.